Probably doesn't need to be 4K, but whatever. All right. We're going to do this Zeo style. I don't know if this is going to be the right angle, but I'm going to put this down a little bit more. Probably, is this good? Right angle? You guys can see my hands? All right. So essentially what we're doing is changing everything around in my room. I've got to prepare for other speakers today, other systems. Essentially everything is changing. So I thought, why don't I just put a camera on my head and just start to tear everything apart? Because why not? It's content, right? I don't know how much talking I'm going to be doing. I don't know how I'm going to edit it like I never do. I don't know why I'm trying to be stable with the camera too, because too much motion can make people sick. So we're going to coil up the world's best for now. I don't know if we're getting other cables from MACO today. Oh yeah, that's why. I'm essentially I'm tearing the system out to make room for the MACO speakers and system. So that means I'm changing the amplifiers. Yes, cable risers. You guys have seen these? If you haven't, they're just basketball stands. They're frosted because I never took off the protector. But anyways, you can buy a pack of 6 for like 20 bucks. It's the hi-fi cheat code for cable risers. Seriously, 6 of them for 20 bucks. I think the Buckeye audio amps are gonna live in my living room. For now, I have so many other speakers out here. And I think the new Kefs, I think these will fit under here. Look at this. As if I didn't plan that. Look at the spacing. That's perfect. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. So the Buckeye amps can go in there for now. And then I can put the Radiant acoustics there while I'm using those amps. I could maybe trade off for the Kefs once in a while. A lot of stuff going on. That also means I got to move the SVS subs for now. I'm not really sure how they're going to fit into everything. We'll probably want subs in here for some of the more demanding music, the more demanding EDM music. I mean, I know the MACOs have an 18-inch driver, but I don't think they're going to be able to handle EDM bass. And of course, we'll try it out without the subs first. Oh, there's something in the way on that side. Fits like a glove. Like literally there's like less than 1/8 of an inch on either side. That's so perfect. Wow. Put this stuff away. Shout out to K and F for the head mount. Little Buddha statues can take a hiatus. I don't know even where to put them. I can't. Not really place for anything in here. Oh yeah, and I'll reveal another problem in a minute. Can't put them on top of the speakers. Can't really put them anywhere yet. top of the speakers is a glossy surface, even though there's like a ridiculous amount of dust. So they keep things like kind of organized and like separated and in its right space, but I don't really keep it clean. It's, I don't know. Anyways, I'll put these down here for now. I have some time before delivery is planned. I just like to be prepared, you know. So many things can go wrong, and if they can go wrong, they will go wrong kind of thing. So I want to make sure that I have a lot of stuff situated at least before everything gets really busy. That way, when everything starts to happen, I've got some idea what's in the wings or what still has to happen or options. Whoops. Bad camera angle. All right, so these are going to live out here for now because I don't have anywhere else to put them. I can maybe hook them up here, but then I have those stands. Those are attached to the stand. It's a lot of demoing gear. Isn't a straightforward thing. People like to think like, oh, you guys are so lucky. You get to do all this stuff for free. And like, yeah, sure, there's that side of it, but shipping, handling, moving stuff around, it's not easy work. Same thing with people criticizing, like at audio shows, like what the room sounds like, what this setup was like, blah, 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 blah. Like, hey, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of hard work. So you need to just kind of like be gracious about that and give people their dues. Sure, it's a privilege. Yes, I get it. It's definitely a privilege. I'll never say that it isn't a privilege, but at the same time, it is effort and work, and I don't see everyone doing it. Shit, if it was easy to do, right? A lot of people say that. If it was easy to do, everybody would do it. These are the custom cutting board stands that I made. I bought feet for dresser and bamboo cutting boards and just pre-drilled the holes, and I made the amp stands for the Orchard Audio amps and now the Buckeye amps. So I'm going to leave these here just in case. They won't really be in the way. I never thought about where to put the subs. Fuck. I also don't know about the connections that I'm going to need. Right now, it's just XLR for amps and then RCA for the subs. Interesting predicament. It's been a while since I've seen the room like that. That's for sure. I don't think I've ever seen the room like that. I don't know how much of the room you can see. It's wide angle, but I mean, like, I don't have a monitor to like check what's going on. Okay, where am I going to put these subs? I'll put them here for now until I get them set up, and then I can put them in after. It's probably a good idea. And then we'll just remove the power, remove RCA. The rest of these wires are the lights. That's fun. I got the isoacoustic pads underneath. We'll just leave the stands attached. We're using the Bucard Audio bag for protection. Thank you, Mads. I do appreciate the opportunity to have those A10s in the system. They really opened my eyes to like dialed in DSP sound, all that kind of stuff. All right, let's leave it like that. And my isoacoustic pads over here. So I'm using RCA from the preamp to the subs, even though the subs have LFE input, but 2-channel preamps don't have much bass control. Some of them do, but most of them don't. So I'm just using RCA ins. Oh, there's still spikes on the bottom of this one. They didn't all fall off. Oh, I don't know where that one is. Okay, there we go. All right, so somewhat situated. I don't know what these camera angles are going to look like. Probably very choppy. Hopefully it's steady. Content, content, content. Put my lights up. Let's move everything kind of out of the way. All right, what do we think? Some echoing there in the middle of the room. Only because of the side panels. When you're in the back of the room, you don't hear that echo. And when you're at the front of the room, you don't have that echo. It's only here in the middle. Anyways, so I'm going to leave that stuff. Leave some space. So the other thing I was going to mention, like we do in a lot of apartments, I have this radiator heater, hot water, and it doesn't work. I've been fiddling with it for a couple of days, hoping that it's going to, like, water's going to flow through it or whatever, but it's still cold, and the window is right here. So yeah, it gets cold in here, and throughout the winter it's going to get even colder. So that's a problem with having gear situated right beside the window, is in this line of movement, the cold air just pools on the ground, and that can get super, super cold. And I have some suspicion that it might get too cold for some gear, and I'm kind of weary of that. So I need to talk to my landlords about getting that working. I don't necessarily want it on for me because I don't really mind the cold all that much, but I definitely want it on for the gear. It's very precarious sort of situation. So, okay. That can stay where it is. I don't want to change any of that. It's basically source. Now, if I need other wires to move some of this to here based on whatever amps or whatever I'm getting, I might have to shift some of that stuff around. I imagine it's still going to be roughly the same. I could put the subs inside, outside, behind, maybe behind. Should be okay. But this would be a nice time to start measuring everything. I got to take this stuff off the walls. These just pads off the wall so I can measure correctly. I have no space for this shit. That's the problem. In my system, my setup is I don't have space to be moving everything around. Everything is a game of parking lot. Yeah, in order to measure correctly against the walls, these pads I have to move these pads off the wall. Otherwise, I'm measuring from these instead of the wall, and it can get really questionable instead of exact. So I'm going to move them preemptively in anticipation, like I was saying earlier, being prepared for what's coming. I find that my ADHD takes care of my preparedness, even though, like, I can think of it and then later on I won't do it, but I can think of it ahead of time. So I'm a really good planner, maybe not an excellent executioner. That sounds a little strange. Speaking of which, I was at work the other day, and a lady I work with said to me that I would make a very good movie villain. I was like, what? Me? Why a villain? I mean, I've been asked to play like Friday the 13th, slow-moving, sort of like, you know, Jason Voorhees, Halloween, Mike Myers type of like that kind of villain. I've been asked to do that before because I guess I just have a persona. I don't know. Whatever it is. You guys can tell me in the comments what kind of villain I would look like or whatever. I think that's set up. Okay, that's good enough for now. And then in here, black, white, white, black, well, smoky oak. Let me turn this camera up a little bit. I don't want to see my pants. There we go. So out here, I'm just going to have to deal with these changes for now. This is too much stuff. Like, seriously, what the fuck? I have a whole system in the other room there. And then here, it's like 1, 2, 3 speakers, 4, because of the theater, now the Kefs are there. And now, like, there's too much stuff. This is not a living space. This is a laboratory now. So anyways, I'm going to have a drink. I'm going to settle into my system here, check all the details, updates, and then move on from that point. So that's the setup, the preparation, as it were, for the new system. And I still have the demo for these, comparing them against other things. So like the monitor versus the PMC versus the Radiant versus another speaker. I'm not telling you what it is. The amps sit there so nice. I have to hook those up, swap the Radiants out. My Hagel preamp is still in place, which is actually on sale because what I'm using it for here as a desktop, and I have the preamp in the other room now, like there's a conflict there. This is beautiful. I'm going to try it out with my amps now, and if this works, I may keep it because there's not a lot of buyers. But if it doesn't work, and I can't get it to dial in correctly, same with the powered speakers. Now, I love and adore these. If they were the E50s, I might have less of a problem because if I'm moving to powered amps, I don't need the powered speakers. And these shut off all the time. Every once in a while, because I'm always doing different things, they always shut off, and then there's a power on cycle, and it's not like immediate, and then, you know. So anyways, I'm sorting out all that stuff. But for now, the system is just shambles, just complete shambles. And we're going to see what happens in the other room. So thanks for watching. I'll see everybody in the next video, whatever this one looks like. Let me send off with a face cam. Let me see if I can get my camera off. Whoa. All right. I'll see everybody in the next video. Thanks for joining me on this journey. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.